I'm Gene Runland with the Kingsley Chronicle.
This is a trial, not a press brief.
Now that the jury has been picked, I was wondering if you have a statement for the press.
I did, and I gave it this morning to the reporters who camped outside my office. They deserved it.
The Chronicle has an evening edition. The other reporters will be waiting for you outside for their copy. Do you have a statement, sir?
This is the People versus Dave Phillips, because it was the people who were so hurt by the death of Kate Carruthers.
I read that in the news. Do you have any other statement?
Just tell your readers that I'll see to it that I can convict the guilty man. That's meager repayment for loss of a dear friend, Kate. Thank you, Kate. You're welcome.
All rise. This court is in session. The Honorable Judge Timothy Sawyer presiding.
Both counsels ready to proceed?
We are. Yes.
Mr. Lockwood.
Your Honor, the prosecution is faced with what looks like an easy task. Namely, to prove that the defendant, Dr. David Phillips, shot and killed his ex-wife after she had married another man. Now, I say easy for two reasons. First of all, there is certainly no apathy on the part of this court or the people when it comes to convicting the killer of Kate Carruthers. Kingsley may never know again a better public servant than she was. And it's sad. It's a shame she was cut down by the same selfish jealousies. Indeed, the brute force she was able to rise above in her public and private life. And I say easy because all the evidence seems to point to the defendant's guilt. Being the only suspect at the scene of the crime. Unable to explain his presence on the apartment grounds. Why, he doesn't even have one feasible alibi. Oh, he'll protest his innocence. And in the same breath, he won't be able to account for 15 hours. That's right. 15 hours on the night of the crime. You'd think that all might proceed smoothly from here on, wouldn't you? But strike the word easy from your vocabulary, because if you let your mind stray from the facts, the evidence and nothing but in this case, you'll find our decision be clouded with all kinds of imaginative nonsense. You see, the defense's angle isn't difficult to figure out. You'll have paraded before you a set of Kate Carruthers' enemies, and she did have several. Most public servants do. And you'll hear more plausible motives than you can count. Argued amiably, I'm sure. And you'll hear opportunities, coincidences, accessibility to the scene of the crime, but you'll never, and I repeat, never, hear of both opportunity and motive in the same instance, except in the case of the man accused. So please, I'm asking you to please be true to your word. Consider only the facts. You know, we all love comeback heroes. Jim Plunkett in the Super Bowl. Marvelous story. The Detroit Tigers in the 1968 World Series. They overcame a deficit of 3-1. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm a kid at heart. And I love happy endings. Now, the defense is going to paint the accused a comeback hero. Lost to alcohol, bouncing back with a religious conviction. Starting afresh, serving the public. Are you strong enough to keep your mind on the facts? Can you guard your own idealism? Because the defendant is no comeback hero at all. Dr. David Phillips does not deserve a happy ending because he deprived Kate Carruthers of the right to her. The court record demands that you state your occupation.
Oh, yes. Well, or rather, I soon will be the people's representative from Kingsley's 16th District in the United States Congress.
I see. Then protocol demands that I address you as congressman.
Well, if you wish. I'm really not very comfortable with titles.
Tell me, Congressman, what is your relationship with the victim?
Kate Carruthers is my wife.
How long were you married?
2 days.
How long had you known her?
Well, for over 20 years, and I think I loved her even then, although I never let her know my feelings. As long as she was married to the defendant, I never exhibited any improper behavior. I respected and accepted the choice that she had made.
Tell me, Congressman, after the victim broke up with the defendant and decided to acknowledge your proposal of marriage, were you aware of any conflict between them?
Yes, the defendant harassed Kate with phone calls and visits. He begged her not to marry me. She even called me up after one of those incidents, and she was very upset.
Well, did she express any fears for her physical safety at the hands of the defendant?
Indirectly. She had hoped that the defendant would be able to accept her rejection, but she was afraid that in his depression he might start drinking again, and then if he'd... I'm sorry. Excuse me. She was afraid that a confrontation might result from it.
Thank you, Congressman. No further questions.
Lockwood have been giving us is a carefully worded statement that implies that the defendant is a violent man.
Objection, Your Honor. Defense had ample opportunity to object to my line of questioning. All this amounts to is intimidation of the witness.
Sustained. Mr. Lockwood, do you wish to redirect?
Yes, I have one more question, Your Honor, and I resent having to ask it. Congressman Carruthers, did you leave your hotel room that night?
No, I did not.
Thank you.